You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 12th of August. Ukraine's Zelensky briefs PM Modi on Russian crisis, praises India's peace support. US designates Baloch separatist group BLA as foreign terrorist organization. And Bangladesh ex-PM Sheikh Hasina faced corruption charges over disputed land deals. And now for all the details. Ahead of the anticipated meeting between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin over the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke by phone with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, discussing both bilateral ties and the broader diplomatic situation. In a statement, Zelensky said the leaders had a long conversation during which he briefed the Indian Prime Minister on the latest Russian attacks. He criticized Moscow for continuing its occupation and violence at a time where there is a diplomatic possibility to end the war, and stressed the importance of India's support for Ukraine's peace efforts. It is important that India is supporting our peace efforts and shares the position that everything concerning Ukraine must be decided with Ukraine's participation, Zelensky said. He also urged the need to curb Russia's oil exports to limit its ability to fund the war, adding that he hoped the leaders with influence over Moscow would send corresponding signals to push for an end to hostilities. The Ukrainian president confirmed that he and Prime Minister Modi plan to meet in person during the UN General Assembly in September and are working on the exchange of visits. According to a statement from the Indian Prime Minister's office, PM Modi reaffirmed India's steadfast and consistent position for peaceful settlement of the conflict and reiterated New Delhi's commitment to extend all possible support for the earliest restoration of peace. The conversation took place against the backdrop of Trump's decision to impose an additional 25% tariff on certain Indian imports, bringing the total to 50% in what the White House said was a response to New Delhi's purchase of Russian oil. And a day after Pakistan Army Chief's nuclear rhetoric against India, former Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has issued a fresh round of war threats against New Delhi if it makes changes to the Indus Water Treaty. Addressing a gathering in Sindh province, the Pakistan People's Party leader alleged that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's announcement of a water project on the Indus amounted to a warning that Pakistan's water supply could be curtailed. The people of Pakistan have the strength to confront Modi in the event of war, Bilawal said, warning that another conflict might result in Pakistan reclaiming all 6 rivers under the treaty. Notably, India had put the 1960 agreement in abeyance soon after the April 22 Pahalgam terrorist attack that killed 26 people. The Bhutto-Sian's remarks came just hours after New Delhi slammed Pakistan Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir's nuclear blackmail against India, calling it the stock in trade of Islamabad. Decrying India's reaction, Islamabad issued a statement rejecting the accusations and claiming Pakistan is a responsible nuclear weapons state with elaborate command and control under full civilian oversight. The Indian narrative of an alleged nuclear blackmail is a misleading and self-serving construct. Pakistan remains firmly opposed to the use or threat of use of force, the statement said. In a threatening tone, it further warned that if Pakistan's sovereignty is threatened, it would respond with an immediate and matching reaction. Relations between New Delhi and Islamabad are at an all-time low after a week-long military confrontation over India's strikes on terror hideouts in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. India has maintained there will be no talks with Pakistan until it ceases support for terror outfits operating against India. The Pakistani separatist group Baloch Liberation Army and its alias, the Majid Brigade, was designated as a foreign terrorist organization by the US Department of State on Monday. The action taken by the Department of State reflects US President Donald Trump administration's commitment to counter-terrorism, the US State Department said in a statement announcing the designation. Terrorist designations play a critical role in our fight against this scourge and are an effective way to curtail support for terrorist activities, the statement added. The designation of Baloch separatists as a foreign terrorist organization comes after Pakistan's Chief of Army Staff Asim Munir made headlines for being hosted at a private White House lunch, an unprecedented gesture by US President Donald Trump. The BLA is an armed separatist group operating in the bordering areas near Afghanistan and Iran. The BLA was first designated as an SGGT in 2019 after a series of terrorist attacks and suicide bombings. The BLA is the largest and strongest of several ethnic Baloch insurgent groups which have been fighting for decades to win independence for the mineral-rich province, home to major China-led projects including a port and gold and copper mines. Taliban's Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi was scheduled to visit Pakistan on August 4, but the United States blocked the trip by refusing to grant a UN Security Council travel ban exemption, Pakistani media outlet Dawn has reported. The visit was part of ongoing diplomatic efforts to improve ties between Kabul and Islamabad following Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar's earlier visit to Kabul, which was facilitated by China. Muttaqi, the interim foreign minister, is subjected to international sanctions and cannot travel without prior approval from UNSC's Sanctions Committee established under Resolution 1988. According to diplomatic sources quoted by Dawn, Washington delayed its decision until the last moment before ultimately rejecting the waiver request, effectively cancelling the planned visit. The report suggests that the US move was driven by growing concerns over the Taliban's increasing ties with China, while the US State Department did not confirm the decision and simply stated, "We do not comment on rumors." Pakistan's Foreign Office also avoided directly naming the US, preferring instead to procedural issues. Spokesperson Shafqat Ali Khan stated that once the procedural matters are resolved, Islamabad looks forward to welcoming the Foreign Minister Muttaqi. In Dhaka's District and Sessions Judge Court, corruption trials against former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and several of her family members got underway on Monday. The courtroom was packed as witnesses were heard in at least 3 cases, all tied to allegations of irregularities in the allocation of government plots under the Purbachal New Town project. The case pertains to the Purbachal New Town project, which was designated as a flagship housing and development scheme outside Dhaka. But prosecutors allege irregularities in allocation of plots under the scheme. Sheikh Hasina's government was accused in rewarding political allies and her inner circle people, costing the state millions of dollars in lost value. Public interest in the proceedings is high, with many Bangladeshis viewing the cases as long-delayed justice. The court is expected to continue hearing witnesses over the coming weeks. Legal experts say the cases could take months or even years to conclude. The next court hearing is scheduled for August 26. If convicted, Hasina and her family could face long prison terms and a ban from public office. Hasina's Awami League ruled Bangladesh for more than 15 years, until last August, when a massive student protest forced her to resign. She fled across the border to India, where she remains in exile.
আমরা চাই না যে আবার জনগণের সাথে প্রতারণা করে কোন শক্তি হাসিনার বিচার বা হাসিনার সম্পত্তি বাজেয়াপ্ত বা দুর্নীতির বিচার অর্থ ফিরিয়ে আনার নামে আবার জনগণের সাথে প্রতারণা করুক। আমরা চাই এগুলো সুষ্ঠুভাবে বিচার হোক, দেশের যে সম্পত্তিগুলো পাচার হয়েছে তা দেশে ফিরে আসুক এবং যত দ্রুত সম্ভব, যত সূক্ষ্মভাবে সম্ভব এবং নিরপেক্ষভাবে সম্ভব এই আদালতে হাসিনা এবং তার পরিবারের জন্য বিচারটা।
পুরোতান্ত্রিক যে সরকারের দৃষ্টি বপন করে গেছিল 15 বছর ধরে, তার ফলশ্রুতিতে তাকে এখন পালিয়ে যেতে হয়েছে বিধায় ওনাকে যদি দেশে আনতে হয় আমাদের আন্তর্জাতিক আইনের মাধ্যমে ওনাকে অ্যাপ্রোচ করতে হবে। কিন্তু দেখা যাচ্ছে যে উনি যেহেতু নিজে থেকে চলে গেছে এবং নিজে দেশে এসে এর বিরুদ্ধে যুক্তি খণ্ডন করার মতো কোনো সদিচ্ছা ওনার দেখা যাচ্ছে না, তাই আমার মনে হয় যে ওনার অ্যাবসেন্সে করাটা মানে কোনো ভুল কিছু হচ্ছে না। আমাদের যে আইনের গতিটা, ওই আইনের গতিতে আমাদের এগোতে হবে। আর এক্ষেত্রে তার বিরুদ্ধে যদি অভিযোগগুলো প্রমাণিত হয় আমাদের সেই অনুযায়ী আইনের ধারাগুলো আসবে এবং রায় আসবে, আর আমরা এটাই বিশ্বাস করি সাধারণ বাংলাদেশি।
A district court in Nepal on Monday rejected the release of application of former Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Rabi Lamichhane, upholding his judicial custody in the Butwal-based Supreme Saving and Credit Cooperative fraud case. Lamichhane and others are accused of transferring over 109 million Nepali rupees from the cooperative to Gorkha Media Network Private Limited, allegedly misappropriating the funds. In all 4 districts where related cases have been filed, Lamichhane is accused of diverting deposits to Gorkha Media Network, which operated the now defunct Galaxy 4K television. He was arrested from his party office in Kathmandu in October last year by a Central Investigation Bureau team on charges of organized crime and misappropriation of cooperative funds. In December 2024, the district police in Kaski formally lodged a case against Lamichane for fraud, organized crime and money laundering. The district government attorney's office later filed a charge sheet in the Kaski district court over the Surya Darshan cooperative fraud case. The former Home Minister and founder of the Rashtriya Swatantra Party has been suspended following the filing of the case. He has denied all charges. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.